Podcast, the podcast where we like to talk about the things we like to do when we're off the clock, not working. Tonight, I'm Ryan, joined by the handsomest, most handsome. Moms love him.
That's true.
Dads love him.
Also true. Well, my dad loves me. That's a pretty good sample size.
That's pretty good. Yeah, you're batting 100. You're batting 1,000.
Batting 100. There's 9 out of 10 dads agree.
Yeah,
this guy, no. Right. I am not a rapper. I am Derick.
I can confirm he's not a rapper. Although, if you put your mind to it, you probably could do it. Honestly.
Thank you. I'm really a feminine Eminem, a Slim Shady lady.
We're gonna get copyrighted.
Oops. I don't know where that came from. Why Bo Burnham?
See, I told
in that moment.
Dude, I miss Bo. I miss Bo. Yeah, so tonight, it's been a couple weeks. Sometimes this life happens and things like recording a podcast with your best buddy has to be put to the wayside. So, but we're back. And if y'all remember, we did a March episode that we dubbed What We're Watching. And we said we were going to probably do one every month. And what better time to do one for April than, the pre-ultimate day before April ends. So getting it out at the very last minute. But we are here with an April version of What We're Watching tonight. And yeah, so we're just going to talk about some things that we've been watching this month, some things that, are probably still currently airing or things we're catching up on or, things we've completed. And it can be anything from like shows, movies, YouTube, sports, and other ththings on the internet. Use your imagination. No, I'm kidding. Don't use your imagination. Or use your imagination.
Know if we're going to talk about those, man.
Patreon, if you want to hear about that.
We don't have one. We absolutely do not want to get out ahead for that. We do not have one.
All right. Well, not for now. We'll see. I got to pay the bills. I'm good. So yeah. What have we been watching? I mean,
yeah, man. What have you been watching? I actually really, really don't know. I think there are a few anime on the list that I kind of know that we were talking about for a little bit, but other than that, dude, blank slate. I got nothing. Well,
I started off April, kind of hot with, watching some things. I've slowed down as the month's gone on, as things have gotten busier on my end. But I do want to talk about a couple of things that I've watched. A couple of them, I have finished some of them. A couple of them are still, being actively watched. But I'll talk about some of the things that I've finished. And I'm going to start with White Lotus season 3.
Okay. I know I figured that was going to make an appearance in this episode, but so that's wrapped up now?
Yep. The show ended. And man, this was probably the best season we've gotten so far. It was
shoot, nice.
It was a fucking banger, like from start to finish, and especially this finale. Like, my God, there was a lot of shit that had to. I knew going in like there was gonna be a lot of things that had to happen, and a lot of things happened, and it was very well done. It made me upset. I was overall very satisfied with the way the season ended. There were maybe a couple of things that I wish were different. But that's just a subjective opinion. But overall, the season was just a banger. Great performances overall. Walton Goggins continues his Gogginsance. Like, he is killing it right now. He was one of the best parts of the show this season. Just across the board, the performances. I wish I should pull up like the cast in front of me, but there were just across the board great performances. If you've watched the show, which if you're listening, you've watched the show, you're going to know who I'm talking about. The Rich family, the father and the wife, the husband and the wife, they were both so good. The storyline for the husband throughout the entire season was really dark. And it took some twists and turns. I had no idea where they were going to go with it, but I'm glad where they ended up. And the mom is just like, her accent's going to be like, I don't know, impersonated till the end of time. Like, she has just a very thick, like, Southern accent and, like, emphasis on, like, the drawl, like the Southern drawl. But yeah, you've probably heard it, honestly, if you've just been, like, on social media. Like, yeah, it's...
I haven't, because I'm not.
Okay. Well, anyway, performances are great across the board. Season finale was just, like, bombastic. There's a lot of shit that happened, and I want to talk about spoilers. I wish I could, but I don't want to, because I know you want to watch it, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody else watching. But yeah, White Lotus season 3, fantastic season. Fantastic season. Probably the best we've gotten so far.
Speaking on spoilers for a little bit there, I feel like this is the most we've, like, actively tried to avoid spoilers, which I did run into when I was kind of typing up my thoughts on some of the stuff I'm watching, that, like, I'm really trying to avoid spoilers, which means I don't know how next month is going to go. Because for the most part, it's like, oh, I started a season of this, and the next month it's going to be like, well, I'm still watching it.
Yeah.
There's plot. Can't tell you about it.
Well, listen, we can always do a good old spoiler warning before talking about any spoilers.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Sorry, please continue.
Oh, you're good. Let's go to another show that I started and completed. Devil May Cry, the anime, which was on Netflix. I remember playing...
How many epis was that?
Oh, man. 8, I think. I believe it was 8. I'm like 90% sure it was 8.
How long are the episodes? Like 40 an hour?
Classic. 20? No. It's anime, so it's classic, like 20 to 25 minute episodes.
Nice.
Yeah. I remember playing one of the Devil May Cry games. I don't know. I forget which one it was. It might have been
Probably
3. 2 or 3. I think there's been at least 4, but 5. I think there was 5.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. I've played one of the games. I don't remember really any of the story. I just remember it being fun. But anyway, I went to the show like pretty blind to like Devil May Cry lore, and the show started off with a bang. Got really, pretty invested early on. The characters were, entertaining, especially the lead. And overall, like, I really enjoyed the season. I think it was rock solid. It was not perfect. It was inconsistent, but overall I was entertained. The animation was good at times. Sometimes it wasn't good. It was a little inconsistent. I was not a fan of the 3D animation, like the CGI they used for some of the characters, specifically like some of the monsters that they introduce. But overall, like, really entertaining, pretty simple plot, and it opened the door for future seasons. I think it's already been renewed for a season 2. So yeah, I know that you'll probably end up watching it eventually. It's an anime. It's 8 episodes. I'm sure you'll get around to it eventually.
We'll see if the old to watch list is gonna let me do that.
Yeah, but action was really good too. There were like a couple of particular set pieces. There's one where our lead is saving people from a crashing airplane. That was really cool. There's a female protagonist. Her name's Lady, or she's referred to as Lady in the show. They tried to make her super badass, and like she is badass, but she also was a little insufferable at times, like almost like cocky and they just, I don't know if they pulled her off necessarily well. Like, I think as the season went on, she got better, but kind of, I don't know. She wasn't my favorite portrayal of like that type of female character, or just character in general. But
right.
Overall, like, strong characters, solid animation, although inconsistent, and just, entertaining, simple but entertaining story. And I think I don't know if I text you or not, but I think I would give this season, let's do like a 6.8 out of 10. I think it was good, not great, definitely watchable, and overall entertaining. So Devil May Cry.
Definitely watchable.
Definitely
watchable. Ringing endorsement.
Definitely watchable. So I'm going to move on to a movie.
Ooh, a movie.
Okay. There's actually 2 movies that I'm going to talk about. One of them was A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan bioflick with Timothy Chevrolet, Timothy Chalamet, beautiful, pretty Tim. Anyway, I saw this. It was featured on Hulu. I know it got Oscar buzz. I heard a lot of good things. I generally enjoy the biopics, like the music biopics. Like I loved Rocket Man, the Elton John one.
Right.
Big fan of the Elvis one with Austin Butler.
Still haven't seen it,
but
so I do.
And even enjoyed the Freddie Mercury one with Rami Malek, even though it's probably my least favorite. This movie, it's hard. I don't even know where I'd rank it. It's definitely up there. But the thing with this is, like, I know nothing about Bob Dylan. I knew nothing about him. I didn't even know his music.
Yeah, I know nothing about it.
Yeah. Like, obviously, like hearing some of the music in the movie, I recognized a couple of the songs. So, like, I've heard Bob Dylan before. I just didn't know it was him, really. But, man, this movie was really good. Timothy Chalamet is awesome. He kills it. He nails the voice, and I'm pretty sure he's doing all of the singing. Like, he really nailed Bob Dylan's voice, which, now not having listened to Bob Dylan since watching the movie, I can see, like, oh, he did a great job portraying Dylan. And the story was good. Great performances. Ed Norton is in the movie too. His character he did a fantastic job with his character. He plays kind of like a Mr. Rogers type of character, but it's all based off of real people that existed in like the folk music industry back in like the 60s. And yeah, the movie was great. I finished watching it and I immediately listened to a lot of Bob Dylan, and I am basically on a Bob Dylan kick right now, which happens every time I see one of these movies. I'll just binge the music until I don't want to listen to it anymore.
That sounds like the correct way to go about it, though.
Yeah. And it's cool because my dad's a big Bob Dylan fan, which I didn't really know until watching the movie. And I texted him. I was like, hey, I really like that Bob Dylan movie. And he was sending me a bunch of song recommendations. So it was super cool. But I really enjoyed the movie. Bob Dylan's journey is interesting. Started off as a complete unknown, which is actually a line from his most famous song, probably, which is the Rolling Stone, which you've heard. I'm assuming you've definitely heard this song. If you heard it, you would recognize it.
I believe you.
Yeah.
There's no way I can call that to mind right now.
But that song is actually super controversial for the time, like when it was first released, because it signaled Bob Dylan's departure from the traditional folk acoustic sounds to more of an electric rock and roll sound, which his fans were not for, especially in the folk community, because he helped revive folk music and put it on the map when he first started. And then, he wanted to grow his music. He didn't want to be stuck in that same sound forever. So the movie does a great job kind of portraying or showing what it meant for him to depart from the acoustic sound to more of an electric sound. And yeah, it was really effective. I really enjoyed the movie. I did a deep dive on Bob Dylan after it was done because I just wanted to learn more about him. The movie did a good job in that regard. So yeah. And Timothy Chalamet, again, great performance. Probably the best performance he's given. He's great in Dune, but I think he was given more to do acting wise in this movie.
Small update. I looked up Bob Dylan, Like a Rolling Stone, gave it a little bit of a listen. This is the first time.
Wow.
This is gracing. Wow. He said,
wow. No, because I've heard it before, and I've heard it a lot before, and I didn't know it was him.
It's probably because your dad likes Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah, you're right. All right, let's go on. There's a couple more things I want to talk about. Black Mirror season 7.
Holy, 7 already.
Yeah.
Wow.
Netflix.
Okay.
I have not watched every episode, but it's an anthology series, so I've seen 4 or 5 episodes. I think there's 7 or 8 total. So I'm missing 1 or 2. This season's been great. There hasn't been a single episode where I didn't like. That's pretty much the case with all the Black Mirror seasons. Every episode I've seen of Black Mirror, I've liked and I've been entertained in some capacity. But this season in particular has been fantastic. First episode was a banger. They did a really cool, or a really interesting thing with like, it was basically like a parody of like subscriptions, basically. Like there's a thing that happens to this character, and the only way she can survive is by paying for this subscription service thing. And they do a great job, like doing a lot of commentary on that. And it felt super real. Like it was like, it made me upset. Like it did a great job, like pissing me off, and performances are great. The cop from Bridesmaids is in it. And if you've seen Bridesmaids, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't know him. He's been in other stuff too, but I'm not sure what else he's been in.
I'm ashamed to say that Bridesmaids is still on my to watch list.
Oh man, Bridesmaids is so good. I love that movie. And then so that episode was great. And then there was one with Paul Giamatti, which I think Paul Giamatti is like super underrated. He's a fan. Like he's never been bad in anything I've seen him in. But this episode in particular, if you watch it, you would definitely cry if you watch this episode. This episode was heartbreaking, funny, and hit all the beats, that I'm looking for in this type of episode, which it was like basically about like it was a romance episode, but it's about someone who this guy used to be close with, who's died, and he's basically having to try to figure out or try to remember things about her by going through old photos. And it's
man,
really well done. And like there's an AI thing that he can put like on his head, and it can basically transport him into the photo.
Yeah.
And it just, it's so good. And it made me cry. You would definitely cry.
Oh yeah, dude.
Even
hearing about it, I'm like, that'll take me out. Bring me to my knees.
But that episode was fantastic. And then there was another episode that was a continuation, actually. One of the few continuing stories in the show. It was a part 2 of an episode from a previous season about the USS Callister, which basically is just about this. It's about the first part was about a guy, like a video game company, basically. The head engineer, the guy who created the game, he has like a version of that game at his house, and what he does, he's like a recluse kind of. He's for all intents and purposes a loser in real life, but in this video game that he has at home, he's the captain of like a Star Trek like ship. Like he's William Shatner basically in in this version. And he's the captain, he's the cool guy, but basically you come to find that all of the crew members are people that he works with at the office that he doesn't like, or like has something against him. And what he does...
And does he know that? He has to, right?
He knows that.
Yeah.
The people... Now, what happens is he basically just gets DNA samples from these people, whether it's like hair or like... There's one of the people, like they're sipping a coffee mug, and he takes the coffee mug from the trash and like brings it home. He has like basically a 3D printer, and he just is able to use their DNA and transport them into the game, like make a digital copy of them. So their real life counterparts don't know what's happening, but it clones them. So like they are very, like that version of them is very aware that they're in this game. Like they're aware of their life outside of the game. It's weird. It's a little weird, but it's so good. And there's an episode in this most recent season, which is a continuation of that story. That was just so good. Like if you put those 2 episodes together and just make one big movie, like it would be, it's very nice. Fantastic. So, and what's her face from the mother from How I Met Your Mother? The actress, and
Kristen Milioti.
Yes, right? She's also that's it. And she's also in The Penguin. She's in it. and she's as good as always in every way. She's perfect. And then Jesse Plemons in the first episode. I mean, he's not really in the second episode as much, but he is in the first episode. And man, Jesse Plemons is so good. He's such a great actor, man. He's such a great actor.
Versatile.
He usually plays despicable sons of bitches. Ever since he played Todd in Breaking Bad, like I hated him, but like not as a person, but as an actor. Like I usually don't like the characters he plays. I mean, even in his character in Game Night, even though he ended up being a good guy in that movie, I mean, he's just so good. Anyway. Yeah, Black Mirror's been great. I still have to finish a couple of the episodes, but yeah, what I've seen so far has been damn good. 2 more things. Well, 2.5. Delicious in Dungeon, which was nominated in the Anime Awards for Anime of the Year. I'm still 2 episodes away from finishing it. I thought I was going to finish it before recording. I just didn't have the time to do it. I'm like 3 episodes away from finishing it. This show is damn good. It's damn good. I was a little lukewarm on it when it first started. It was a fun kind of like lighthearted show in my opinion. But damn, like there's a episode in this season, like the first, like the show where the tone just drastically changes in my opinion, and then the show just like goes from like not 0 to 100 but like 70 to 100. Like it really kind of just transformed, and then like the last few episodes have been kind of like more like filler-ish, but I have yet to see the last couple episodes, so I'm waiting to finish it. But there's like the middle part of this season was outrageously good.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the animation is beautiful. I love the character designs. I love the characters. I love the cooking in the show. It's just like it's like an informative show about cooking. Like it's just funny. They walk you through the steps and everything. Like you're not actually going to make this stuff, but it's like, it's funny if like you're in this universe and you're watching it like, oh, I'm learning how to cook like these monsters in this dungeon.
Yeah.
It's great. It's funny. But the show's like, it's weirdly morbid sometimes. Like there are some things that happen where I'm like, what the Jesus? Like that's fucking brutal. That's like nasty or like, ugh. But and just like, it kind of just comes out of left field sometimes because like the show is a little lighthearted, like to begin with. And then like for the majority of the show, and then like random shit like that happens. You're like, whoa, like this shit can get kind of dark sometimes. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Like it really, like it went from like an enjoyable, like fun, like lighthearted show to like truly like excellent. And I just want to see how it concludes, at least this first season. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if there's gonna be a second season or not. I haven't seen anything about it. They would have announced it by now. I have to look. But yeah, I hope there is, because it's been good. It's been really good. I know it's on your radar as well.
I do want to talk to you about it after the record.
Yeah. I know it was nominated for Anime of the Year on Crunchyroll, and for me, like Frieren is by far the best anime that's come out. But it's up there. It doesn't really come close to Frieren per se, but yeah, it's good. I mean, at first when I saw it was on there, I was like, oh really? But I see why it made the list. So that's Delicious in Dungeon, and then 1.5 more things. Sinners. I saw Sinners, the movie with Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld. It came out 2 weeks ago. I saw it over the weekend, and this movie was fucking awesome. Like, this is one of the best movies.
I can never tell how you're going to finish that sentence when you start it. You're like, could have been, this movie is fucking awful.
Like, I'm trying to keep you on the edge of your seat. You know, I'm making you really listen. Dude, Sinners was so good. I saw it because like it was getting so much hype. It's one of the most highly rated movies, like critics wise, like of the decade. Like on Rotten Tomatoes, I had like a 98% critic score and like a 96, 97% audience score. So like unanimously, like everyone loves this movie, and I can see why. The movie's it's fucking incredible. It's like an achievement in filmmaking. Like this movie, I didn't expect it to. I didn't even know how good it was going to be. Like I thought maybe it was going to get overhyped, but man, this thing was great. Like it's just, it's so fun. It's so gritty. It's scary at times. It's got a lot of like important messaging. It just had everything. And like Michael B. Jordan is probably the best movie he's been in. He is amazing, and he has a lot of work to do in this movie. And if you've seen the trailer, you'll know why, but I'm not going to say anything. But you should definitely see this. Like I would go to, if I were you, I'd go to the movies by yourself. I'd go to the movies. Yeah, I'll go there. I go to the movies ASAP and see this movie. You know, I can't recommend it enough. I went on a Saturday night at 7:30.
Yeah.
And when I tell you I haven't seen the theater this packed, I haven't seen it this packed since like Avengers Endgame. Like,
wow.
And it was also like this past weekend you had that, and then you also had Revenge of the Sith being released. So there were a lot of Star Wars folks out. But my theater was packed to the brim. Like I got the very last seat on Fandango, like 2 hours before the showtime. And wow. It was like in the handicap section. And this is the second weekend too. Like this isn't the first weekend. This is the second weekend. The handicap section, the one, like the two love seats basically. So it was just me and this random dude next to me sitting there enjoying the movie together. I thought about offering some popcorn, but I didn't. But yeah, Sinners was fantastic. I want to see it again. I think it's going to be an amazing rewatch. Yeah, I don't really say too much about it because I went into this movie pretty much fully blind. I knew like one or two things about it, but they weren't really spoilers, and I was just blown away. And yeah, can't recommend it enough. Definitely go see it.
Interesting.
And see it in theaters too, because this movie deserves it. It's a different experience in the theater. It will be a different experience in the theater. And Ryan Coogler's the director, and man, he's on he did Creed 1. He did the Black Panther movies. Like this guy is one of the best directors out there right now.
Shoot. I mean, this has definitely been added to my list, but I'm going to have to figure out when I can get over to that movie theater.
You're hop, skip, and a jump away.
If I lean a little bit to my left, I can see the back of that building from here.
Yeah. So definitely get over there ASAP. And then the last thing, it's the Phillies. I mean, I've been watching a ton of baseball. We're almost done May, almost done almost done April.
We're not. We're almost started May.
The first month of the season is about to conclude, and the Phillies in general are just like, they were started off really hot. They kind of tapered off a little bit. They won their last series. I think they're winning right now. Knock on wood. I hope they're still winning by the time we're done. But yeah, it's nice to have baseball every night. There was, the Phillies were struggling up until this last weekend. So with baseball, it's such a long season. I just get kind of apathetic sometimes towards like actually watching the games. Like I'll keep up on my phone, but if the team's like on a 4 or 5 game losing streak, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch. I'll keep up my phone. They have to earn my peepers back on the TV before I do it. But yeah, so far, up and down season. Still a lot of baseball left to be played, so I can't really make a determination on this team, at least for another month. There's some guys that are struggling. There's some guys that are playing really well. But at the end of the day, just their big bats need to just do their thing. They need to hit. And they haven't been hitting as much or as consistently as we would need. Pitching's been great. Pitching's been great overall. The bullpen has been a mess generally, but they've been pitching better recently, so I have hopes that that'll get better. And the offense just needs to hit. Like if this team can just like consistently score 4+ runs a game, like they're going to win a lot of games. So they just need to do that. So Phillies, just Bryce, Trey, Nick, Kyle, just hit the ball. Hit the ball. All right, there we go. That's it. That's what I've been watching for April.
What an earnest plea to the boys.
That's all I got. The floor is yours, my friend. I know you have some things to talk about.
I'll bring up some stuff that I think we intersect on a little bit. So I will start out with anime. I don't think there's any getting away from that. I was telling you off mic before the record, I basically no-lifed TV for a month, basically. And one of the ones that I started this season, YAIBA, Samurai Legend.
Yep.
Have you kept up with this? Did you watch more than one episode?
No, which I'm disappointed in because I really loved the first episode, and I was watching Delicious in Dungeon, so I just didn't watch that. But yeah, I want to. First episode really got me sucked in. So yeah, go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Not enough, obviously, because I didn't keep watching, but it's not because I didn't like it, just because time and things. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I was taking notes kind of all throughout watching stuff this season, and that probably wasn't the right call to make. So I kind of simmered my notes down, refined it to show the good, the bad, and what did I think about it. But even the good and the bad sections are a little bit longer than probably they need to be. But this is a adventure shonen anime based around a young samurai raised in the jungle by his father, and a bunch of shit happens, and then the kid meets his rival, essentially. The good is, I feel like this anime still feels like an 80s IP.
Oh yeah,
because it is, right? It's an adaptation of a manga called YAIBA, and that ran from, I wrote this down somewhere, 1988 to 1993. So it's right in that wheelhouse. And I like that it keeps that spirit, but wow, there's a lot of stuff that would not fly today. I know you drew some parallels to Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, it's heavily inspired by Dragon Ball.
I feel the same type of stuff with this. Goku and YAIBA both just feeling girls' parts because they've never experienced that before. They're like, what?
Yeah, where are your balls at?
What is that? What are these? And in my mind, I'm like, wow, this shouldn't fly, but here it is flying. But I kind of like that it stayed true to its roots,
It's also anime. There's always some shady shit going on in anime, even current ones that are made with original IPs currently.
I wrote down
created.
I'm pretty sure there was also an old pervert somewhere. Again, that's another anime trope. There's just some old pervert somewhere doing old pervert things. I feel like the rivalry, I guess spoiler alert, there's a rivalry, but it actually felt pretty organic the way that it came about. I'm trying to remain spoiler free.
Oh, no, you're good. I mean, a lot of this happens in the first episode, honestly. And even the intro, details this is my rival. This is, yeah.
Yeah.
This show is very it's very Dragon Ball. I'm just putting out even the hairstyle it's Goku's hair. What are we doing? What are we doing? The dad looks just like Goku.
And I like goofier. He looks like his dad, just Goten looks like Goku.
Yeah, exactly.
Just on the character design front, there's a demon form for one of the human characters, and he literally just has horns. He grows horns and he has them, and that's his demon form. And it's so straightforward and on the nose that it's right down the middle for what I want this character design to be. Oh, you went demon mode? Here's some demon horns. Oh yeah, makes sense. Great. So perfect on that. And the last thing I have under the good is that the end credits has a mandolin in the background, and it just feels cozy and homey to me.
Yeah.
Which I think fits with the whole I was raised in a jungle vibe.
Definitely. No, I gotta keep watching that show. I also just I love the animation style. I love the art style, and I love just the way things move in that show. At least from the first episode.
Yeah, the lines are like really soft.
Yeah,
and the shapes are very round and full. I guess like I don't want to say distinct, but like it's very different.
It's very dynamic too. So yeah, I just hope the quality continues throughout the entire season.
Under the bad, I have spoilers listed here. So spoily. I will try my best to not spoily it, but there's a character that essentially just gets corrupted by like a powerful sword. And I just found that whole thing to be uninteresting. I mean, we are only 3 episodes deep into this thing, but like the fact that we're going from here's some people to one of these people was corrupted by a sword that turns him into a demon seems fast to me.
Yeah.
And like it was kind of uninteresting in how quick it was. I think that here's another thing I was fast. At some point to rival that corrupted sword, YAIBA goes out to find like a sword that can defeat it. And like it, spoiler alert, by the end of that episode, he just has it.
Yeah.
We're only 3 episodes deep, and this guy has moved from the jungle to the city, found a rival, and now has to take that rival down with a magic sword he already now has. Like how have we gotten here in 3 episodes? You know what I mean?
Do you know the episode count for this show?
Not off the top of my head. Let me see if I can figure that out. While I am just, talking. I thought this was going to be easier. No, I don't see a confirmed episode count on this.
Well, things are moving quickly, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a short season. Things can happen.
Yeah, you could tell me that, like, they plan to go, like, long, like One Piece long. I'd be like, okay, I guess. Like, I have no idea what to think about it. And I guess I put this under the bad because I didn't know where else to put it, but again, it's an adaptation of like an 80s IP, right?
Yeah.
And if they had made this in the 80s or the 90s, like it would look pretty much the same. However, the characters do have smartphones in this. So like my brain doesn't understand how to reconcile that. I'm like, okay, when are we?
Yeah.
Because if he's just like feeling people up in 2025, it's about to get real rough for him.
He still he still like grew up in the jungle, so he is very naive and uncultured in that regard. So, whatever. But I know what you mean. It is. I feel like you don't see a lot. Well, I'm not gonna say that because I know what you mean. Like the show doesn't seem to lend itself to modernizing itself like that. But yeah, we'll see.
As far as the verdict goes, right now, 7 out of 10.
Okay.
There's room to go up, room to go down. That's a pretty safe rating from me so far.
So we're 3 episodes in. So does that qualify as passing the 3 episode test, or does it not meet the mark?
I think so. I think it has.
Okay.
Do you want to hear one that I think hasn't?
Oh yeah.
Lazarus.
Man, that sucks. I've seen the first episode.
You've seen the first episode.
Seen the first episode.
This is another one that is premiering this season. It's a sci-fi anime from, I believe, Adult Swim, right?
Yeah.
The year is 2052. Humanity's thriving due to some drug called Hapna that just removes any sickness or like pain or really anything like negative. The creator, Dr. Skinner, vanishes only to return 3 years later, and he warns that Hopna is unstable. Anyone who has taken it will die 3 years later.
Yep.
Which, after reappearing after 3 years, almost all of humanity is going to die soon. Like anyone who's taken Hopna, gonna beef it pretty quickly here. As a response, there's a task force named Lazarus that's created to find Dr. Skinner and see if they can develop a vaccine before time runs out for humanity. We mentioned this on a couple of episodes of this podcast because we wanted Chris to watch this.
Yes.
I believe, I forget how to say his last name. Chad Stahelski, the guy who like choreographed the stuff for the John Wick movies.
Yeah.
Also worked on Lazarus. And we were like hyping it up to him. And now I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
So under the good, I have that the art style is very Adult Swim.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very lo-fi and like a nostalgic, like Toonami Tom 2004 kind of way.
Yeah.
And even the ending credits, big Adult Swim vibes. And I like that. I feel like the anime as a whole feels like a mix between Cowboy Bebop, of course, and Kaiju number 8, interestingly enough. I don't know why I wrote that down, but it felt right in the moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to think based off. I'm only seen the first episode, and I can totally see Cowboy Bebop. In fact, you can tell there's a lot of inspiration from Cowboy Bebop just by the character designs, and even like the thumbnail for the show, like looks like something out of Cowboy Bebop, like the different faces and the colors and everything.
Yeah,
but I don't get I guess I have to watch the other 2 episodes to really understand the Kaiju number 8 vibe that you're getting at. But I'm excited because I like Kaiju number 8. It sounds like a good combination in a vacuum. Like that sounds like a fun combination.
I just don't understand. I don't know. But as far as animation goes, like there are some B-roll type shots specifically that I thought were really good. For example, there's a shot of a tulip in episode 3, and it's like really purposefully composed where like you have the tulip like, on screen, you have light coming in from the window, and then like the characters just all looking up at it.
Mm-hmm.
And like it looks nice, but in my mind I'm like, that's got to be the cure, huh? It's definitely the tulip, isn't it? So we'll see how that prediction goes. But that's where my the good section ends for Lazarus.
Surprising.
Yeah. The bad.
Oh no.
There are some slow-mo shots, which make sense in like combat and stuff like that. But a lot of the time it just lacks impact. There's a scene in the trailer that I think we also brought up on the podcast where he jumps off of the roof of like a high rise and he just kind of like jumps through pigeons. I think that is the perfect example because watching that episode back, there was no reason for that to be made more epic by slow-mo. There was nothing. Like it didn't gain anything from that.
It was going for style points.
It's just so weird. I think that the biggest part of why I don't like it is the voice acting. Did you?
Well, usually watch in Japanese.
I do.
And
how did you feel about?
Is there a Japanese version of the show or just the English?
No. So
okay. So it's just an English dub.
Yeah. Did you find anything weird about that first episode?
Because
I am curious whether or not it's just me.
I mean, maybe I have to rewatch it. I thought like the lead was fine. Maybe a couple of the lines felt a little rigid from some of the other characters, but I mean, I don't remember there being anything glaring. But anyway, elaborate.
Yeah, we talked about this after I think our last record, but for some reason, I did hear this, so it's a little apocryphal.
Yeah.
But Adult Swim made the decision that the Japanese audio is going to release a month after the English audio. Even though the show premiered in Japan with Japanese audio, we're not getting that for another month. And even just like reading around the forums, other people also hate the English voice acting.
Wow.
Like, I just think it's so flat.
Okay.
It's, what else did I write down here? It's almost like they recorded the Japanese voice acting first and then edited the English voice acting performances to just fit into the animation, which I guess could be just like
they might have done that. I mean, they could have done that.
But like the pacing of their speech is so bad. And there's characters like Elena. She's like the man in the chair kind of person. And she specifically is just so monotone and like unfeeling, which I guess could be just part of her character. But it just doesn't sound like I think they wanted it to sound. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's disappointing. Yeah, go ahead.
Even if the voice acting itself was good, I don't think the script is good. Like the dialogue itself is just bad.
The writing.
Like I watched Cowboy Bebop. I enjoyed Cowboy Bebop, and the way that they deal with travel in that show and in this show, which is just, we're not going to show it. You understand? They went from one place to this other place, like that they're here now. I'm fine with that. The dialogue is so not good.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how else to put it. So I am giving this a 3.5.
Wow.
Out of 10.
That's one of the lowest scores I've ever heard.
I've put this on the shelf for the foreseeable future. It was originally going to be a 3, but I thought there might have been some redemption, so there's room for it to move up to a 4. Right now, it's not. It's not doing it for me.
That's interesting. Well, that's disappointing to hear because I mean that's so much potential. I'll catch up and I'll see if I feel the same way. I guess I'm assuming that, I know the script is still not going to change, but once the Japanese version releases, it would get some points back for the voice acting, hopefully.
Yeah, and there might be like translation differences that just make better sense in subtitles, but I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath for it.
I mean, listen, this is the impression. This is their first impression. Like they wanted to release this in English to a big American audience, and I haven't heard anything about it. And that's how I know it's not good. It hasn't been great because no one is talking about it.
Yep.
That's
it's just us.
That's all I need. That's all I need to know. And on my time, and like my algorithm especially on Twitter, is just a lot of anime.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm not hearing anything about Lazarus is telling. And on YouTube, I'm not getting anything fed to me for Lazarus. So yeah, definitely telling.
I think they've made the correct decision. Your algorithms. And I think the last one that I think we have some overlap on. My Hero Academia, Vigilantes. You watched the first episode of this?
No.
Is that right?
So we actually have zero crossover on this. I have not watched it yet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but I have heard good things, but I'm excited to see what you say.
Interesting. So this is a action shonen, like superpower prequel to My Hero Academia. It's basically about a group of unlicensed heroes, so vigilantes, taking down a drug ring The drug of choice is called Trigger. It boosts quirks and removes rationality. So essentially, it makes like a instant rampaging villain, basically. I really like this one. Before we even got to the opening, I was typing that I loved the comic book style of it. That probably doesn't mean a lot to you right now. But like they have the stylized like bams and pows over some of the hits.
Okay.
And in that first episode, I was so worried that it was going to be overused, but I think they nailed the usage of it. Even like 3 episodes later.
I'm excited to watch it.
There's a character who is very strong, but is also great as comedic relief, kind of like All Might was. This guy is, because he's a vigilante, he's essentially just like dysfunctional Batman. Or like more inept, no, maybe not inept, kind of like Big Daddy from Kick-Ass.
Oh man, what a reference. Child.
So he's great. I think that taking down a drug ring, because they don't want to go after like the big villains, because they're like that's hero shit. We'll take care of the small scale stuff.
This is like Daredevil. It's like Daredevil. It's like Spider-Man. You know, it's
the perfect level for vigilantes to like deal with this kind of crime, and that's awesome. I love that. There is another quirkless character in this season, and the way that they tell you that is a little bit subtle, which I like. But then they do the thing where they kind of out and out state it like a minute later. I'm like, shoot. Okay. But it was still pretty cool nonetheless. It's also very funny, which I feel like My Hero Academia does well from time to time. They kind of know how to balance the humor and the serious fighting stuff.
Yeah.
This one, maybe because the stakes are lower, they can afford to be funnier. But it's really nice.
Yeah.
There is a female character who is essentially just an idol. Her name is Pop Step. And of course, as soon as she shows up, I'm like, yep, of course. Yep, of course. Pop Step forever. Yeah, of course. Duh.
I stand Pop Step.
So that's going great. But she's really funny. Like there's one part of an episode where there's like fighting going on, and then she's just kind of off to the side, like talking to the youths and like giving them PSAs about like violence and like recycling and shit. I'm like, this is perfect. Yeah.
How many episodes are we in so far?
3. I've kept all of these at 3 episodes because I thought that was more in keeping with our little monthly theme.
Yeah,
here.
That's good.
That's it for the good. Here's the bad. That was the bad. So here's my verdict. 8 out of 10.
All right.
That's
damn good.
Right down the middle for like My Hero Academia. It's funny, and it has like very nice usage of comic book styling.
Yeah.
It's great. It's got potential to go up to a 9.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah. I think the My Hero universe has a ton of potential for side stories like this. And I know this is based off a manga, which exists, but I think they could actually have some original stories being written. I would love a show just about All Might in his prime, like when he was younger. Like, I would love an All Might prequel series. Like that'd be so cool.
Yeah, we
get see him kick ass.
Bits and pieces of it in the anime, don't we?
A little bit, yeah. Like get flashbacks. But
some of the movies we get a little bit more of that, which is nice too.
They just added the Your Next movie on Netflix. I'm probably going to check it out.
I saw. It's also on my list.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch it. Yeah, I'm happy. That's good. My Hero is kind of on the upswing because the last season of My Hero was awesome. And the final season's coming out this fall, I think. So, and then this show. So, My Hero fans are eating good, it sounds like.
I almost said they are. We are.
Listen, I am back on the My Hero train. Like, I do like the show overall. I think the first couple seasons are amazing. It kind of teetered off a little bit in the last couple seasons, but this past season was fantastic.
I was so sure they were going to end it at the end of the season. And when they didn't, I'm like, okay, well, now what?
Yeah.
I'm just glad the answer is what, three movies?
For My Hero?
Yeah.
To finish Demon it Slayer.
Oh, yeah. What?
I think My Hero is just doing a season.
All right. Sure. I will not complain about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a final season.
Fantastic. I've got a bunch of anime left.
If you want to do you can do a lightning round, or you can just talk about them. I mean, it's all right.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm gonna cut it down a little bit. So there's one called Summer Pockets. This is a slice of life anime. It's set on like a isolated, rural, peaceful island, and the main character is a teenage boy named Hyrie. He grew up in a city, but his grandfather died. I think it's his grandmother, and he uses that as an excuse to go back to the island and take care of her like estate sale and all that. Once there, he meets 4 girls, is what the description said. I have 2 things under good. One is the ant. It's kind of cute. 2, one of the female main characters is seen as like the weird girl in town. And I think it's because she's the only character in this whole fucking series that doesn't just think of something and then say it immediately.
Yeah.
Every other character says exactly what's on their mind immediately to anybody.
She's got a filter. She can read a room. She has social cues.
That's it for the good for this one. The bad is just, oh man. I mean, from the beginning, I knew I wasn't really going to like it. The main character started like, he said something really like cringy, basically, and embarrassing. Okay. And old woman on the boat was like, oh, what was that? Or whatever. And he just repeats it. The same amount of cringe. And then he's like, oh, sorry, I tend to think out loud. I'm like, oh, okay. If that's like his personality quirk, I guess it's not so bad. But then he fucking doesn't think out loud for the next 2 episodes. Where did that go?
That's how you choose his character. Like I just say things out loud. I just think out loud, and then he doesn't do that again.
Yeah, I'm a bird with injured wings. Oh, what? Me? I said I'm a bird with injured wings. And then he just never fucking says that ever again.
He's flying the next episode.
I don't know. I also I don't even know how to communicate this.
Okay. Try.
So the description is, once there, he meets 4 girls.
Yes.
In my mind, we met a dozen people. And like my brain can't keep them all straight. And it blew my mind when I pulled the description for this and realized there's only 4 of them. Like the first episode or 2 was just like, oh, you're on this island. Oh, who's that? Oh, it's a girl. Okay, I'm going to go for a walk. Oh, look under a tree. It's a girl. Okay, now it's nighttime. I'm at the pool. Who's in the pool? A girl. I'm going to go for a walk.
That's 3.
Oh, look, it's a lighthouse. Who's sitting on the lighthouse? A girl.
That's 4.
And all of these girls just like say exactly what they're thinking to him. Like, I'm just not about it.
all good.
I think I might drop this one legitimately. It doesn't scratch at like slice of life itch that I tend to have. I don't know if maybe it's because it's only tagged as a slice of life with like no other genres or themes going on. But like I'm not enjoying this, and it seems like other people on my anime list are, because it's rated a 7.41 so far for them.
I mean, what do they like about it?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, is it like a, I don't know, is there fan service or something?
Oh, yeah, that was one of the bad things that I put in here.
No fan service.
Shoot.
Or an overabundance of it.
Oh, so there was randomly, there was just he was walking in while one of the characters was getting undressed scene.
Yeah.
Just randomly dropped in the middle of an episode. And there was like nothing really going on before that. And then nothing really going on after that. Like it was just there.
It was just there, yeah.
I was caught so off guard by it. So yeah,
won't be the last time. Well, you're not going to keep watching probably, but it won't be the last time something like that happens. Probably. I mean, it's a show with one man and 4 women. Like, it's an anime. Like, it's going to happen. Like, it's inevitable. There's going to be some sort of shit. That's what happens in this type of show.
I'm also watching Windbreaker season 2.
Windbreaker.
Yeah, I know we watched a little bit of Windbreaker season 1 together. Yes. But I don't think we watched too much of it. But essentially, it's about a boy named Sakura who goes to a high school for fighting, basically. But when he shows up in season 1, he realizes that the high school is actually there to protect the town, and he's fighting for the sake of the people in town. And all the people in town are grateful, which is something that he's not used to, because he's just so big on fighting, and people tend to look down on that, but not here. The good things about this season is I think that the fight choreography, which stood out to me in season 1, is still there in season 2. It not only looks good, like they do tasteful slow-mo in this one. Lazarus could take a page out of Windbreaker's book on that. But the hits also feel heavy, which I think is attributed to sound design. If I had to pick, there are some really nice close-up shots as well that really kind of look beautiful, which in a show about fighting you don't really expect to see. So when they show up, it's kind of I don't want to say a big deal, but it grabs your attention.
Yeah.
One thing I will mention about the voice acting is that last What We're Watching episode, I got so mad at a voice actor in Honey Lemon Soda because he just growled all the time. And I'm like, we don't have to do that. But for some reason, Sakura's voice actor in Windbreaker, I think also growls all the time. Fucking love it. It's great. No notes. I don't know.
Maybe it fits the show more, you know.
Yeah, I think it does.
It makes more sense. He's fighting, like a slice of life fighting. Yeah, I mean, he's engaging in physical combat. Like, he's gonna grunt a little bit. He's gonna growl or whatever.
And the last good thing about this, I'm skipping over a lot, but there's a new character who is the leader of one of these groups. Shingo, and he is absolutely fucking unhinged. Like the artists who like animated him did a great job. The voice actor, who is the same voice actor for Itadori, also did a great job. Like this guy is unhinged. He looks unhinged, and he sounds unhinged. No notes on Shingo.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
There are some scenes that kind of eke into the bad for me.
Okay.
Like the leader of Sakura's school is the strongest guy at his school, but he's like kind and goofy, kind of like Gojo is. And he's also super powerful, also kind of like Gojo is.
We love Gojo.
We do. So we also love Ume in this. But there was one scene in episode 2 or 3 where like Sakura doesn't understand what he's feeling or why he's feeling it. And Ume, the leader, just like looks at him and knows, and then just tells Sakura exactly what it is that he's feeling. And like, it's kind of a cop out to be like, oh, well, it's because of this. And I understand that it's because he's supposed to be like all knowing, all powerful, like has been through it before. So you should trust his advice. But it just seemed like a little bit of a cop out to me. Right now, this is a 6 out of 10 for me. It's not bad, but I mean, it's only been 3 episodes. So we'll see where that one ends up.
Okay.
Shoot. I'm watching one called Mono. It's about a high school photography club and film club that have to join forces because they don't have enough personnel. This is made, or it's an adaptation of a manga from Afro. And Afro also made one of my favorite animes, Yuru Camp, which is just super relaxing. It's like camping out in nature. This one is very similar, but just taking photographs out in nature, basically.
And that sounds super chill. And, you know, the photography is probably a plus for you.
Oh, yeah. The description, one of the sentences is they experiment with gadgets beyond photography and film equipment, and of course eat local delicacies along the way. So the photography stuff, really cool, really beautifully animated. The food looks so good.
It always does, dude. I've never seen food in anime that doesn't look delicious.
Oh my gosh. I really like the characters in this one too. It feels very, very cozy, like Yuru Camp did. Episode 3 I just watched today, and the girls from Yuru Camp just make like background cameos in this. Like there's just one of them walking along a street. I'm like, oh, I know who that is, which is really cool. I have this as a 7.5 out of 10. I think there's substantial potential for it to move up, especially because of the Yuru Camp vibes. But for now, that's where it sits.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I thought it would be higher based off what you were saying, but
yeah,
I thought it would crack an 8, but 7.5.
If I'm being honest, it probably is an 8. I gave that rating after episode 2 because I wasn't 100% sure when we were recording.
Okay.
So yeah, probably an 8 for that one.
Okay.
Food for the Soul. Speaking about food, this is adult cast, cute girls doing cute things, gourmet anime. And it's about a shy girl named Mako. All she really cares about is like good food. She follows this one food vlog really closely, and she even makes the dishes that appear on it. So like, if Delicious in Dungeon wasn't about monsters,
yeah,
she would be cooking along with them, definitely. And one day on campus, she runs into an old classmate from elementary school, and they all join forces to form the Food Culture Research Club. The food, of course, looks yummy.
It better look good.
I actually have it under the bad section that I cannot watch this at night.
Yeah.
Cannot.
Yeah.
I get way too hungry. And then that's just the ball game, folks. I also really like the characters. They've each got their own different like charms, I guess. And I especially the leader of them is especially charming. She like tries to bribe the clerk at the school desk to let them have a fake club, but she like hands her an envelope full of money, and she's like, no. And she's like, oh, did you want like a holographic envelope or something? No. But so far, it is a little bit slow, but slow in a good way.
Yeah.
So I think this is a 7.5 out of 10. It could drop to a 7, could come up to an 8. I think firmly in that sort of area.
There you go. And that's after 3 episodes or 2?
3.
Okay.
Here's one that I've actually watched 4 episodes of. It's called Catch Me at the Ballpark.
Ooh.
Which I, for some reason, picked up just because people on the internet were like, I'm enjoying this more than I thought I would. And
okay.
I agree with internet people. I am enjoying this way more than I thought I would. It's about a overworked salaryman who rewards himself by frequently visiting the nearby baseball stadium.
There we go. This sounds like something I can get into.
I think, yes, with an asterisk.
Okay.
There's also a girl named Ruriko who's a beer vendor at the ballpark, and she acts like real cool towards the salaryman, but inside she's just like a sweetheart and knows basically nothing about like baseball or selling beer, really.
Yeah.
The good is the show has so little actual baseball. But I do think that's a good thing because we're just telling like stories around the park of like people who are there.
Yeah.
There was one particular storyline that did make me cry.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it had to do with the security guards. So if you know what I'm talking about, that one brought a tear to my eye. And the last thing I have under the good is the voice actress for the beer vendor, Fairu's Eye. She's incredible at voicing mischievous characters. I tried to keep all my like weird voice actress like bias out of this, but her performance in this is great. She's also the voice of Pansy from Dragon Ball Daima.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask.
Power from Chainsaw Man.
Ooh.
Kikaru from Kaiju number 8. And Delta, Eminence and Shadow, Linnea, Mushoku Tensei. But I just had to give the shout out here because a
couple of biggies.
She's very good at sounding mischievous, I guess. I'm tempted to. I'll put this at a 7.5 as well. I can't bump it up to an 8 yet, but it's so close. It's so close. Yeah, I'll speed run this final 4. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. I gave this an 8 out of 10. This is season 2, and I like that this show reintroduced characters from season 1 with like, oh, here's something that's happening. Here's this character. We're going to pause it and put up a little nameplate. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Laika. Right.
That's good.
So loved that. It's also funny, and I don't remember if the first season was as funny as this season is, but there's like a rip-off Yu-Gi-Oh battle that goes on between Laika and Flectort.
Yu-Gi boy.
I was so surprised to see it. I'm like, this is great. There's also one super relatable scene where the main character like arrives outside a mansion, and she says, "It's so out of my league, I don't even know how to go in," which is exactly how I would approach a mansion. But yeah, this one's very heartwarming. It's a feel-good anime, and it's also funny in like a really cutesy, low-stakes kind of way. So 8 out of 10 on this one. Apothecary Diaries season 2 or continuation of season 2, I guess. Great. Fantastic. 8 out of 10.
There you go.
I bumped it down from a 9. I gave season 1 a 9, but it's only because I'm giving it room to grow. I feel like there are plot points in season 1 that didn't really crop up in season 2 yet. It feels like those are starting to kind of creep in. So there's probably some upward mobility for you, Apothecary Diaries.
It's on my watch list. It's right up there with Orb, and yeah, it's right up there.
Yeah, my sister started and finished season 1 of this already. So that's
what was her consensus? Did she like
fun.
it?
She did. I didn't get to ask her directly about it, but she sent me like a picture of a scene in one of the final episodes, and then like not that much longer later, she's like, "All right, now what?" Season 2 time.
Season 2.
So that's Apothecary Diaries. Yes. Can a boy-girl friendship survive? 8.5 out of 10. This is the one I was texting you about a lot.
Yeah.
It's about a boy and a girl in junior high in a small town, and they pledge to be best friends forever. The boy, whose name is Yu, is a plant/flower admirer, and he loves making jewelry, specifically inspired by those plants and flowers. The girl's name is Himari, and she's bubbly and just like seemingly carefree, upbeat kind of character. 2 years have passed since that promise, and they're high schoolers now. Over those past 2 years, he's been making jewelry for her to model, because when he thinks about, the inspiration he gets from the flowers, he thinks about what would look best on her. Good golly gosh. I took a bunch of notes about the female main character, because there's actually unconfirmed episode count on this one, but if this were like a 12 episode season, from episode 1, from the drop, I'm like, this is going to break my heart in episode 10 when she inevitably starts bawling her eyes out. Spoiler alert, they've already kind of twisted that plot up a little bit. So I have absolutely no idea what to expect from the rest of this season. I'm assuming I'm still going to get hurt in a very major way at some point, but I am enjoying this one. What I wrote down here is this has some potential to really wreck me. So it's somewhere between an 8 and 9. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 on that one. And the last anime on the list, Usagi Drop, which technically I finished in March, but I gave this one a 9 out of 10. It's about a 30-year-old bachelor working a respectable job. And he pretty much just is living aimlessly. He doesn't have a goal or anything, which sounds very familiar.
I was going to say, why does it sound so relatable?
I watched this, or I started watching this a few days before my 32nd birthday. And I was like, this is going to kick me into shape or something like that. But his grandfather suddenly passes away, so he returns to the family home to pay his respects. And to his surprise, there's a 6-year-old girl there named Rin. And they find out that it's his grandfather's illegitimate daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, very interesting. She's shy and unapproachable, and the family who just found out about her deem her an embarrassment, and like nobody wants to take care of her. So they're trying to like send her to a facility or something. How old was his
grandfather?
80, I think, something like that. 86. He was up there.
This boy's still swimming.
Picture a Japanese grandfather in anime. That's him. You got it.
Yeah. All right.
But everybody refuses to take care of her. They want to send her to a facility. So he gets angry at them and decides, nope, I'm going to take care of her now. So it's about his like journey through fatherhood and raising this little girl. And, the classic, like, oh, am I raising her or is she raising me?
Sounds super wholesome.
I was a bit worried in the beginning because the animation starts off in like an animated watercolory style, kind of like a PBS kids show, like Caillou or something like that. I was
going to say Caillou.
And I was really worried. Like, it looks really good, but I'm like, is this going to be forever? But it wasn't. The opening song goes, and it goes right into exactly what you expect. I feel like that made me appreciate it more, if anything, which was nice. I think that the characters are very thoughtfully animated. Like when the 6-year-old gets like frustrated or confused with something, her face kind of turns into like a Peanuts style, where her like eyes are just dots and her eyebrows like one unibrow with like a curl in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, it reminds me very much of Peanuts.
That's funny.
It's very cute. I think overall the relationships in the show develop really naturally. Oh, well, what I have here is develop so naturally and wonderfully and warmly, which, yeah, I stand by that.
Yeah.
9 out of 10, easy on this one.
Sounds super cute.
The only thing that I think I would have wanted more from this is at the very end, just a little bit more of a hint at two characters. Just a little bit more.
Is there a season 2, that you know of?
No, this one is one from 2014.
Oh, wow.
2016
I didn't realize.
Or something like that.
So it's a one-off.
Yeah, it was good. Other than that, of course, I've been watching Formula One. In April, we had the Japanese, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, or Grands Prix, technically, I think. Isn't it like Attorneys General? Like multiple Grand Prix. Or not
Prix.
Grand Prix.
Grand Prix.
It's Grands Prix, right?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I don't care.
That sounds right to me.
But we ate a little bit for a little bit. Suzuka, a little bit of a snooze fest, but Max Verstappen put together a insane qualifying lap to take pole position. We also got Yuki making his debut for Red Bull at home in Japan. Let's not talk about his results. And more interestingly, we've got a shakeup in the Drivers' World Championship. At the end of last year, everyone said, it's Lando's year. Like, this has got to be the one. They've got the fastest car. I feel like everybody forgot about good old Oscar Piastri, his Australian teammate, who has taken the lead of the Drivers' World Championship by, spoiler alert, taking 2 consecutive wins. So he leads the championship by 10 points over his teammate and by 12 points over Max Verstappen. So that's where he's at now.
That's crazy. Huh?
And as we're speaking, the Miami Grand Prix is this weekend, and I have purchased this McLaren Miami Grand Prix hat because I was upset when I was unable to buy their paint splatter hat from last year, 2 years ago. So I jumped on this one quite some time ago.
It looks very sharp.
I'm excited for it. I've also been watching a little bit of IndyCar just because I don't know, my hobbies have just kind of been falling apart recently, and I decided to watch a little bit more stuff.
IndyCar, okay.
Yeah, F1 is basically 20 fast guys just all trying to go the same fast distance, the fastest. Yeah. IndyCar is more than 20 fast guys all trying to go the same distance, but the fastest.
Are there now in IndyCar? Are there how many laps? Are there there are laps, right?
Yeah, there are laps. I couldn't tell you how many there are.
Okay,
I'm super new to it.
It's okay.
But I did watch Thermal Club and the Long Beach Grand Prix so far. I do find it difficult to kind of keep track of drivers and teams and stuff. I did read once that I should be looking at the font of their driver numbers to figure out who's on the same team. Because like even if you're on the same team in IndyCar, it doesn't necessarily mean you're running the same looking car. So like visually, you can't really trust it. But I cannot imagine that the right answer is looking at the number on the car, seeing what font is on it, and then looking at the rest of the cars and seeing which font matches. I'm probably wrong about that. So if I am, great. But something I find interesting is how some drivers go from F1 to IndyCar or IndyCar to F1. So I find myself kind of comparing some of the names that I know have been rumored to swap back and forth, or people who used to be in F1 that aren't anymore. So that kind of stuff is fun for me.
So there's drivers that actively switch between the sports.
There used to be. Now it's just like once contracts are up.
I was going to say, it sounds like it'd be like a breach of contract.
Yeah. So that's something I'll probably continue to watch. And the last thing I wrote down here is a show on Netflix called Chef and My Fridge. This is a Korean cooking show. I've done zero research on this show. As far as I can tell, this is the situation. The show started in 2014, ran until 2019, then rebooted at the end of 2024 on Netflix. There's only 10 episodes out as of now. I believe that's still right. And it's 2 hosts and a pool of chefs, I think, but only 8 chefs appear in an episode. 2 celebrities come on the episode and they bring their entire fridge with them, or the contents of their fridge. Each celebrity also names 2 themes that end up being 2 battles, and each battle is 1v1 chef versus chef. The chefs have to use what's in the fridge, and I'm pretty sure nothing else. And they have a 15-minute time limit.
Damn.
And as far as I can tell, production does not fuck with that clock like in other shows. Like, it's 15 minutes actually is what it feels like.
Like, what are some of the themes? Like, the themes have to cater them. Like, they have to be catered to the 50-minute timeline. Like, that's not a lot of time to cook most things, unless it's like rice and noodles or something like that.
Yeah,
or like some sort of stir fry.
Do crazy stuff. I'll need to go back and figure out what examples I can give of things that seem impossible to do in 15 minutes that these chefs just like do.
Just like peanut butter sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Like, I think in the most recent episode, one of the chefs made his own pasta in under 2 minutes or something like that. I'm just like,
that sounds impossible.
Like, oh my God.
Way to show off, dude.
But like the themes on the most recent episode, there was an Olympic figure skater, and he doesn't eat a lot because he has to keep his frame very light. I think he said when he eats penne pasta, his mom only, she like, however she cooks it, he only gets 10 pieces of penne.
Wow.
And that, like, he is content with that. I'm like,
it sounds like torture.
Yeah. But I think one of his themes was, I have more competitions coming up. Make me something that will energize me to go train for that competition. So there was a 1v1 with that. And then his other theme was, all right, well, I'm on this show. I love this show. This is a cheat day for me. Make me the fucking cheat day-iest meal
I'm saying
you can think of.
What's a cheat meal? Is it 11 pieces of penne? One extra piece. I'm cheating. Put butter on that thing.
But stuff like that is, I don't know. It's very fun to watch.
That sounds interesting. Yeah, I might check it out. I like a good cooking show.
I have had to turn off like that language learning part of my brain because I don't think I can fit another language just knocking about up here.
Yeah.
But I've been enjoying it so far. But mostly, that is what I've been watching in the month of April.
Very good. You've watched a lot more than I have. Well, yeah. I've watched different things, but as always, you're always killing the anime watching game.
Yeah, again, I did no life TV for quite some time there.
I'm jealous. I have to get back on I'm going to try to be better in May, but yeah, there's a ton of things I got to catch up on. I mean, especially when it comes to anime.
Yeah, for me, I was really light on the movie front, but it's because we still have some stuff in the pipeline.
We do.
I think we mentioned last month that we want to do an episode on Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim, which might expand a little bit because of how it is. And I also did watch another movie that I don't think we're ready to announce that episode yet, but that was also on the list.
Whenever we do that one, I am excited to do that one. And whenever we do it, I still have to fulfill my end and watch it, but it is it'll be a fun one, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is what we are watching in April of 2025. If you want to watch us more, we're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. 5 o'clock sweats. Search it up. That's us. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Anything else before we just brush on by the way I just changed that on the fly?
No, I thought that was good. That was good. No, nothing else for me. Yeah, it's nice to see your face again.
Yeah, it has been a while, hasn't it? I will try to cut down the May episode so we're not where we are on time. It's okay. For the second episode in a row. Well, as always, stay sweaty.
Stay sweaty.
Stay sweaty.
That was really bad. We're out of practice. Stay sweaty. That's fine.
Okay, interesting. I think I've done okay. Yeah, sure. All right, there we go. I'm good, I guess.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm excited to hear about it. All right. What's the intro again?